It's no fault of Elvis. You know, he loved the song.
Country music's reigning queen of kindness has a secret past laced with slammed doors and bruised egos. Imagine Dolly Parton, soft-spoken, rhinestone bright, stepping out of the spotlight just long enough to lock horns with mentors, rock legends, and shock jocks who thought they knew her worth better than she did. Tonight, we travel behind the sequins to uncover 5 feuds that nearly broke her spirit and yet forged her greatest triumphs. Dolly Rebecca Parton is born on January 19, 1946, in a one-room Smoky Mountain cabin beside the Little Pigeon River. She grows up the 4th of 12 children, the daughter of an illiterate but sharp-witted farmer, and a mother who passes down centuries-old Welsh ballads while rocking babies in handmade quilts. Poverty is so acute that her father pays the doctor with a sack of cornmeal, but music saturates every chore. By 6, Dolly belts hymns before Pentecostal congregations led by her grandfather. By 8, she strums a homemade guitar. By 10, she sings on regional radio. Restless and undeterred, she graduates high school on a Friday in 1964 and boards a bus for Nashville on Saturday, armed only with a pawn shop guitar and a vow to own whatever future she can write. Nashville is ruthless, yet Dolly cracks its shell with the witty single Dumb Blonde, proving that underestimating her is dangerous. She signs on to The Porter Wagoner Show in 1967, where her soaring harmonies and electric smile triple ratings and catapult her onto the Grand Ole Opry stage. Hits like Jolene and I Will Always Love You follow in quick succession, and by the mid-1970s, she is crossing over to pop charts, starring in Hollywood films and opening Dollywood, her own theme park. Even as executives push her toward formulaic love songs and novelty duets, Dolly insists on retaining the publishing rights to every lyric she pens, an early line in the sand that sets up wars to come. Tabloids crown her the Saint of Sevier County, but the halo hides razors. Behind closed studio doors, she battles for artistic control, fair contracts, and respect for her intellect. She sprinkles self-deprecating jokes about plastic surgery to disarm gossip and donates quietly to childhood literacy programs, yet she will not bend when a deal smells exploitative. The tension between glittering goodwill and steely resolve becomes the heartbeat of her legend, and the spark for each feud that follows. 1. Porter Wagoner. For 7 seasons, Porter Wagoner showcases Dolly as his protege, but off-camera, he dictates wardrobe, set lists, and touring schedules, treating her royalties as an extension of his empire. Dolly's chart dominance convinces her she has outgrown the mentor-sidekick dynamic. In 1974, she delivers an agonizing farewell, first in private, then through the aching verses of I Will Always Love You. Porter, feeling betrayed, sues her for $3 million in lost earnings, branding her ungrateful in the press. Dolly refuses to fight publicly, settles quietly, and channels heartbreak into bigger stages. Years later, when Porter lies dying, she sits at his bedside and sings the song that once severed them, proving mercy can coexist with self-preservation. 2. Elvis Presley. The same anthem sparks the next battle. Colonel Tom Parker rings with an offer. Elvis will record I Will Always Love You, but only if Dolly signs away half her publishing rights. The deal could immortalize her tune with the King's velvet baritone, yet Dolly smells a trap. Why surrender lifelong revenue for a single headline? Nashville gasps as she says no. The decision looks reckless until 1992, when Whitney Houston's blockbuster rendition storms the globe, earning Dolly tens of millions and vindicating every sleepless night she spent second-guessing herself. 3. Linda Ronstadt. In 1986, Capitol Studios gathers three vocal titans, Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris, to cut the album Trio. Dolly records harmonies in a single take, trusting instinct. Linda demands microscopic pitch perfection, burning daylight and tempers. Dolly jokes to break tension, but studio time bleeds. Reporters sniff conflict. Linda eventually vents, calling Dolly hard to rely on, and the follow-up project stalls for over a decade. When Trio 2 finally drops in 1999, it tops charts and snags Grammys, yet the easy sisterhood critics predicted never materializes. The experience teaches Dolly that creative chemistry cannot survive without shared trust in the process. 4. Howard Stern, fast forward to 2008. Howard Stern's crew slices Dolly's audiobook narration into a mock interview laced with vulgar jokes. Radio audiences howl. Dolly rushes to a quiet corner, heart pounding, and listens as her faith-infused words are twisted into obscenity. Humiliated, she fires off a blistering statement and contemplates legal action before choosing silence over courtroom spectacle. For 15 years, she avoids Stern's orbit, until 2023, when she strides back into his studio to promote Rockstar, her first full rock album. She smiles, shakes his hand, and commands the conversation, reversing the power dynamic without a single complaint on record. Number 5. Jeff Tweedy. Not all critics sneak through back doors, some charge in openly. In 2024, Wilco frontman Jeff Tweedy jokes on late-night television that Dolly peaked at Jolene and that "I Will Always Love You" is sentimentality on autopilot. Social media ignites. Dolly, now a veteran of worse storms, posts a playful graphic of worldwide sales numbers and offers Tweedy free Dollywood tickets anytime he needs cheering up. The quip ends the skirmish. Sales of Rockstar surge. Tweedy retreats to indie blogs. And Dolly proves that a witty shrug can silence cynics faster than a lawsuit. Punk bands mock her rhinestones. She turns the barb into a Halloween costume line that sells out in days. 90s tabloids obsess over rumored surgeries. She diffuses the chatter with the punchline. It costs a lot of money to look this cheap. Country stations threaten boycotts when she supports drag queen performers. She doubles down on inclusivity, quipping that everyone deserves a little sparkle. Each dust-up becomes raw material for the next business pivot or philanthropic surprise. Patterns emerge. Dolly refuses unfair deals, but she forgives on her own timetable. She stands her ground, yet never lets bitterness calcify. In 2022, she enters the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In 2023, she tops both country and rock charts with Rockstar. In 2025, at 79, she announces a 6-night Las Vegas residency and releases If You Hadn't Been There, a heartbreak tribute to her late husband, Carl Dean. Every chapter underscores the same lesson. Kindness is not weakness, and owning your story is the surest path to longevity. Dolly Parton's career glitters like rhinestones, but it is tempered in the furnace of 5 unforgettable feuds. Each clash sharpened her instincts, fortified her resolve, and gifted the world songs that might never have existed without the friction. Which showdown do you believe shaped her legend most? Share your thoughts and join us next time for another untold story from the heart of music history.